were your parents together?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are they still together?
Mm-hmm.
They are.
Yeah.
They're happy?
Yes, very much so.
And so you had a good childhood?
Yeah. With them, I really did. Yeah.
What do you mean with them? You're like, with them? Yes, with them. Well, who's the other?
My secret family sucked. But my parents were awesome. No, they were great. I think there was like a lot of like loss and like just death in my family in general, like my extended family. But my mom had cancer when I was younger. But
was that get you emotional?
No. I mean, yes, but
you said you kind of discarded like she had cancer. Like, what does that mean?
No, it's just like talking about like deep stuff. I just never know. Like, it's like, do you want to hear about it? Or, like,
no, it's no. I think people really do. It's like,
okay, cool.
We talk about mental health on this and facing adversity and stuff. So it is important if you feel comfortable at all. But like, totally, tough times and dealing with death. You said you have a lot of experience with death.
Yeah. And when I was younger, it's cool that you talk about mental health, which I think we've talked about at the conventions that we were at. But yeah, when I was younger, when I was 8, I had really bad anxiety. I still do. But when I was younger, it was like really bad.
Crippling.
Yeah. And at the time, especially like in the early 2000s when I was younger, I feel like anxiety wasn't really talked about much. And even before that, of course. And it's really cool that it's being normalized now. Because when I was younger, I felt crazy. Because I like didn't really know what was happening. I like couldn't go to school. I would just have panic attacks all day.
And they didn't know what to do.
No. And my parents just, because I was so happy and just kind of like full of, very extroverted, they were kind of like, okay, it might be anxiety, but there's just no way. Because like, she's just so outgoing and loves musical theater and performing on stage. Like, how can she also have the crippling anxiety and not want to go to school, not want to perform on stage when...
Same thing with me. Oh, he's so outgoing
really?
And he's so funny and he's doing plays and he's doing this. And I'm riddled with anxiety.
Yeah.
And
wow.
And it was so taxing in my body and my mind.
Yeah.
And the nerves were elevated to a point where it was beyond everyone else's just nerves.
Yeah.
You hear about those people that would throw up before a show.
Yes.
And I'm sort of like that. It really took a lot for me to feel like I can get on stage or
same.
perform. And I lived like that until I was probably 45 years old.
Wow.
And no one knew. I would just do it. And then it wasn't until I got on something that helped me.
Right.
And it reduced that extra, holy shit feeling.
Yeah.
And it just leveled me out a little more so I could sort of still be nervous, but not shitting my pants.
Right. Yes. Know? No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd they do?
I didn't. So I thought, because I always had like massive stomach aches and I'd be throwing up all the time and just be panicking, like just shaking, like 24/7. I also remember the day. Do you remember the day that your brain like shifted into that, or no? Do you know what I mean?
I remember a moment of normalcy.
Yes.
Or of starting to realize that maybe I could live a better life.
Yeah.
And I think with anxiety.
Yeah.
And because people say you have to understand it and you have to there's so many things in meditation and I've tried a lot of things and some different things work for different people.
Right.
And it wasn't until I got on Lexapro, and I'm not saying Lexapro is right for you because it's not right for a lot of people, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
And it just loaded enough where I'm not freaking out about everything. I'm not nervous about everything. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was an exact moment, but there was over the course of a few months, I felt, wait a minute, this is different. I'm not sweating now,
Yeah. No, it definitely is like hopeful because I feel like from where I was when I was younger to now, it's like, so I could have never imagined like where I'm at mentally now. Like, even though I still struggle with it, it's not anywhere.
How did you overcome it? Not overcome it, but how did you improve it?
I went to therapy when I was younger, like when I was like 8 or 9. Funny though, I thought that I didn't really understand what was really happening because my parents like found out that it was like anxiety, like generalized anxiety disorder where like, you're just anxious all the time for really no reason.
For no reason.
And it's not like, oh, I'm worried about a job. I'm worried about a performance.
I'm worried about everything.
I'm worried about literally everything. And it was dying was like throwing up, dying, feeling hot. like I would start freaking out. And so I think it stemmed from my mom being sick. I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure.
No, but that makes sense.
And so, yeah, so I just couldn't manage it. And then so I went to therapy, but I thought I didn't really know what was happening. So I would just tell her stories that were just all made up. And then I realized—
Your therapist.
Yeah, when I was like 8.
Well,
I was
8,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like went to Ireland with my whole family.
She didn't go to Ireland.
I did not go to Ireland, yeah. And I would just like make up all these stories. But I think it was helpful because she did really help. And there was just a bunch of exercises that helped, like stress balls and like just saying that you're not crazy. Like there's things that you can't control. It's like a lot of what's the word? Maybe like mantras, I guess, of like—
yeah. Like for instance, there's one where they're like, when anxiety's there and you feel it, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And then go, all right, you're in the back seat, but I'm fucking driving.
Yeah.
And you could be here and I'm feeling all these things and that's fine, but I'm still in control of this.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it and it sucks, but you know, it's sort of like, I always imagine like, all right, you're back there, stay back there.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you're here, dude, but we're driving.
Yeah.
We're going.
No, I call all my anxious thoughts and like intrusive thoughts, because I get bad intrusive thoughts sometimes. I call them the council. It's like the council in my head.
What intrusive thoughts come to your mind?
Oh my God, literally everything.
You're going to die.
Yeah, like just any like morbid thought. I don't know. And then the problem is like everybody has morbid thoughts and everyone thinks about death, or like, you know, you're like walking on like a bridge and you're like, hey, you should jump. Stuff like that.
My uncle was a psychologist.
Yeah.
And he had a patient once who, I know this sounds like I'm making this up.
No.
But he had a fear of shitting his pants in public.
Wait, same.
You had that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm afraid. Like if I get like a cramp or a stomach cramp, I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants.
I got that too. I would get anxiety because of my stomach.
Yes,
and it was all part of the anxiety.
Yes,